Peace, pieces. Let me know if you can hear me. Thank you. I already was having some technical issues. That's why I didn't want to go to Facebook. Because I already knew they was going to try to... Yeah, we already know how that goes over there. And they won't let me send one particular source of information that I had found so I can pull up with y'all. But it's all right because I pulled it up on my laptop. But yeah. How you been, sis? Yeah. You getting some snow this weekend? Yeah, we gonna drop some tea tonight. Peace, peace, everybody. All right, let me go here first. What's up, Fulton? Hey, Lisa. Peace, peace to all y'all. Y'all might need to, hey, James. Y'all might need to get y'all a little something to sip. This is gonna be a lot tonight. If y'all able to hang in there. Because it's gonna be some tea. Thank you, love. It's gonna be some tea tonight. Thank you, Lisa. I need to get this hair done though, honey. I need to do something to it. I'm doing good. I'm doing alright. I'm pushing through. Pushing through. Okay. Yeah, they wouldn't let me but I'm gonna drop some tea though. No, I don't stream every day. I don't stream every day. I have to work majority of the time. Hold on one second. Let me share this right quick. If y'all don't mind liking the live and sharing it as well. All right. But yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all been hearing about the doomsday clock. Hey, peace, peace, Kaden. I'm pretty sure y'all been hearing about it. They've been talking about it. Some people been freaking out. Um, some people so much not, like me. Peace, peace. Keish. I think that's how you pronounce it. So, I haven't been really worried about it, but there is something significant with this whole ordeal dealing with this doomsday clock. I kind of connected some dots last night too that deals with a certain cycle, a certain lifespan, repeating itself. So we're going to get into that too. But y'all, of course, if you don't know by now, the doomsday clock is not a literal thing. Thank you. Yes, Lisa. Like the live, y'all, and subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. No, Kish. My mom, Marianne from Morocco. Oh, okay. That's pretty. Good night, Lisa. If y'all got snow coming in, y'all stay warm. But yeah, it runs deep when it comes to this doomsday. I've never really dived into this information. Even in my younger days, I wasn't, you know, fascinated about the doomsday clock. That's fine. I understand what you're saying though. So I wasn't fascinated about it. But one thing I can say is I've always been a person that prepare for things. Um, I like to plan ahead. I like to be prepared for everything that I do. And I like to stay ahead of my experiences, if that makes sense. Like, I like to stay ahead of the game. I like to stay ahead of my experiences. So when things do transpire, I will be, I'll be fine. So I've always been like, if you want to call it a prepper in a sense, but I've always been the type of person that likes to stay prepped, in plan for anything. And it's not fear based. It's just more of an awareness with me, a cautious thing, and also the ifs, like we have in this experience, the what ifs. So, just being prepared for that. So I was never fascinated about the doomsday clock. Ma'am. Go in there. Yes, ma'am. Go. Hold on, y'all. Go in there. But yeah. So we're going to get into it. First thing first. Let me go back to this one. There has been a spark of communication, just speculation and interviews dealing with this doomsday clock now at 85 seconds to midnight. Okay? Which is basically just symbolically supposed to be subscribing humanity and how much time we might have for a chaotic event. I was trying to say catastrophe, but my mouth is dry. But anyway, a chaotic event or some type of, war or what's the other one? some type of atomic situation going on with our, within our celestial system. So they basically is talking about the chances are risky. Now, what I want to say about this is that the way today's energy has shifted, into a total awareness. Um, Everything is high frequency nowadays. Everything is, doesn't seem to have no structure or formation. And when we're in that high frequency of energy, that tends to happen. So, with our energy, as a whole, this experience and how the energy is fluctuating, at its highest, getting up there, it is causing a lot of claustrophobic energy. Okay? And I didn't mean to say claustrophobic, I mean claustrophobic. I cannot even get my words, y'all. I'm just going to leave that word alone today. Because obviously I cannot even get it. But anyway. You know how you hear the word, know the word, and for some reason it just keeps not coming out. So obviously that's not a word I need to be using. But anywho. So what I want to say about this doomsday clock is this is something that actually transpires frequently. They just happen to, of course, reference it as a doomsday when it's pertaining to humanity and its existence. But humanity's existence shifts, it changes, it mutates, it evolves. So there's no getting away from life, okay? Because a lot of people seem to, the whole scenario with the doomsday is the day everything is gone, okay? We are non-existent anymore, okay? But I'm here to tell you, in this journey, we go through these situations. We go through these centuries of experiences that repeats itself, resets, because, of course, doomsday is all about a reset as well. So, it recycles itself, regenerates the energy. Okay? The only thing with the doomsday is that energy is giving something newer, okay? A new world, destroying the old world, or the old world, coming to an end. Okay? And I've been talking about this for a few years too already about, resetting yourself, changing yourself, evolving within your own elements of yourself. Because where we're motioning, this energy is motioning as a whole, you're going to have to be able to hold yourself collectively and understand the new wave of life. Not new wave, but new wave of life. And if you're not able to comprehend or reciprocate it in a certain level of frequency of understanding, okay, or just to overstand and awareness, then you can cause yourself to create a loop for yourself. Okay? That's fine, Lisa. I know we all got things to do, so I'm just glad you came back. Thank you for coming back. We go through these stages in our journey, and even as a whole, life goes through these experiences. Okay? So this doomsday chat is all about this shift that we've been experiencing for a few years already. It's all about humanity recreating itself.
Where's my book bag?
Jen, I don't know, but go that way.
I'm doing something.
Well, I can't get it right now. I'm live. You have to wait, baby. Stop you right there. No, I don't. But, shut the door, please. But, it's all about humanity recreating itself, regenerating itself, rebooting, resetting, recycling the energy, but in a form of intelligence. And that's what we've been motioning in, okay? I'm from the South, okay? So, this doomsday clock is right in alignment to what is transforming in this lifetime. Even with the doomsday clock to be at its accomplishment or a completion, right? There has to be a certain alignment that has to take place as well. Okay? Now we've already experienced one of them. Peace, LeBra. How you doing, Miss LeBra? LeBray, I'm sorry. I'm not good with reading names, y'all. Please don't beat me up. But we've already experienced one of those alignments, as they would say, dealing with the alignments of the planets last year, at the beginning of last year. Okay? All right. And then we have another alignment that's supposed to take place this year in 2026, dealing with the sun, the moon, and Earth. I think it's Earth, the sun, moon, and the Earth. All supposed to be in an alignment. Okay? So we're in this transitioning energy, heavy, deep. Okay? Things are transpiring real fast for humanity. Okay? We are regenerating ourselves in a higher aspect. Okay? We are mutating into intelligence. Okay? Oh, Libra. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, I got it. All right, Miss Libra. Okay, got it. Thank you, because I definitely messed that up, girl. But yeah, so this doomsday clock is right in motion of, what is symbolically taking place in divine law, divine motion. So that's why this big time is, they talking about it big time right now. With the 85 seconds to midnight, it's getting closer to 12, okay? All right? But I don't want you to focus too much on the time, because understand that time is and has been an illusion or allude to our existence, okay? Such as the clock. All right, but I will show y'all that divine energy, the divineness of it all, does have a certain rotation, a certain flow that it constantly goes in. Okay, just like as they were saying, how the sun goes this way first and then goes that way. All right. All right, it's a certain motion that it reoccurs in. Okay, it's current. Okay, and time also was similar to tide. Okay, the tide, the waves of the tide. Okay, every time there was a certain tide that took place, okay, in the motion of the ocean, okay, it gave you a certain frame, okay, of what part of the day it was. Okay, just off of the tides, the energy, the frequency. Okay? Even with storms. All right? So time is an illusion. So, of course, this clock is an illusion to what is symbolically taking place within all of us divinely, spiritually, and in this experience. Okay? I mean, the last time I've ever heard somebody talk about the doomsday clock, I had to be in my single digits. Like, it's been maybe my double digits. It's been a long time. Okay? But there are certain events that take place, okay, with these doomsday. Okay? Now, there is a pattern that I was recognizing when I was tapped in last night. There's a certain pattern that I was recognizing. And the certain pattern, you know, it's like a century in sequence, but there's a 1 and then there's a 9. Okay? So it's not completely equal in this shift, in this motion. Okay? 1 is a 10, 1 is back at 1, and 1 is a 9, which is a reflection of each other either way. Okay? 9 and 1. Okay? But when you put them together as a whole, and you gain just the 1, okay? Just like this year here is symbolic for the year 1 or 10. Okay? There has been other centuries with the same number sequence. Okay? All right? From where we're at right now, going back 19 years. Okay? That would give you,
I don't know if the world knows this, but kids are expensive.
1999.
When we found out we were pregnant, of course we were looking for any ways to slash bills.
And making sure we only had what we needed so that everything was less stressful.
And saving money.
Which is around the time, probably in my double digits, you know.
With AT&T before.
Around those times, I've heard about the doomsday. That was the first time me hearing about the doomsday clock. But it wasn't really something that sparked my interest. Okay? But if you go back 19 years from to this year, go back 1999. All right? There's a lot of things, historical events that went down in 1999. Okay? Oh, we cannot forget the Y2K. Now, of course, we understand that the Y2K deals with the supercomputer. But understand, all right, it was listed as a doomsday. And the reason being is because we were shifting from a certain vibration or a certain frequency dealing with the computer or technology to a more resourceful technology, more intelligent. Okay? So this is why it was a big thing with the supercomputer being plugged in. All right? It's going to give us 40 days and 40 nights up in here. Okay? The grid, we was risking the grid. All right? So that is a form of doomsday. So we can't forget Y2K coming in. Okay? From the year 1999. But there is other things that I found that was so interesting that happened in 1999. Not only, dealing with the Y2K, all right? All right? But there was a couple wars that was taking place as well. Okay? There was a significant technological shifts, like Napster was launched. Y'all remember Napster? That was launched that year. Okay? Also dealing, like I said, with the Y2K. We had some cultural milestones that happened that year as well. Okay? But if you go down to dealing with the weather, there was a lot of natural disasters and earthquakes and political events, including dealing with Bill Clinton. All right? Now, isn't it crazy that we're facing the same doomsday in a sense, right? Similarities, and we have Trump in the chair. Okay? Oh, I have my points with this.
Mommy?
Girl, please.
What?
I wish you put that up.
Well, you do have no
Girl, ask your
money.
daddy to open this because I'm losing my focus. But yeah, there was a lot of natural disasters, earthquakes, political events. Bill Clinton was being impeached that year, okay? And there was also an introduction of the euro currency. Okay? Paper form was going away. Okay, remember we used to get the little paper form stamps and whatever, a lot of that was going away. They was bringing in the cards. Okay, so that euro currency started to come about. All right, so a lot of the things transpired in 1999, but it was also a process of dealing with this whole doomsday era. Okay, and this is what I'm just breaking it down so y'all can see the similarities into what we're generating right now to what we generated back then through those doomsdays, okay? Because they seem to think that humanity is going to end, okay? As long as there's a will, consciousness, there will always be a God. The frequency, the energy. Okay? So nothing ends. Right? Alright, so nothing ends. Taiwan earthquake killed thousands. Massive mudslide in Venezuela killed thousands. And Trump over there in Venezuela? The JFK Jr. plane crash. Killed his wife, sister-in-law, all in his plane crash. Turkey had a bad earthquake that year too. 15,000 people transitioned. Right? Right? Now, if you go further back, from 1999 to 1980. 1980. Yeah, 1980. No. 1999 to 1961, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1980. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. 1980. I'm looking for the clip, y'all. My bad. For some reason, it's not popping up over here. Oh, it's not pulling up. Okay, so I'm gonna go right here. Because when I mean a lot of things took place during these times, and these historical shifts has a lot to do with the reset. And they wouldn't let me share a certain documentation. All right? They wouldn't let me share a certain documentation dealing with this doomsday over through Facebook Messenger. So I can pull it up over here. But they would let me share everything else. This 1980s obviously did not pop up. But I got it here. It's fine. There's a lot of key events that took place in 1980. If you go back, that's 19 years too. The 10. Okay? Even if you want to add up 1980. Go ahead. Okay? Whether it's 9 or 10, it's the year of reset. It's the year of conflict. It's the year of chaos, destruction. All right? And that's why they call it the ends of times. And that's why they reference it dealing with the doomsday. Okay? But in 1980, Iran and Iraq was at war. Now, this is what's going to shock y'all. Because who just went to jail? Who just went to jail? That they're talking about all over social media. Pertaining to Trump and Nicki Minaj. Who just went to jail? Now, I think he's a blogger. News, something, a journalist.
Mommy.
But check this out.
Mommy, they want to have.
Okay.
They're not broken.
Okay, don't mess with nothing else. But his name Lennon something, right? Okay. Maybe let me pull it up over here so we can get his name right. Don Lemon, that's his name. Okay. Just got arrested. Okay. Pay attention, y'all. There was an assassination of John Lennon in the 80s. 1980s. Right in New York City. Alright? That was a former Beatle artist. Okay? Not saying that they're related or nothing like that. But I'm talking about the play of the words. Pay attention. Okay? When I say everything recycles itself, alright, it resets itself. Alright? It reframes itself. It regenerates itself. But the only thing that changes is images. Okay? Alright? But it's the same energy. Okay? There was a Moscow boycott dealing with the Olympics. Mount St. Helens, there was an eruption. There was political changes. Okay? All right. And Bologna had a massacre. But all of these things portray, and there's more, of course, but these are the top, dealing with these key events of the 1980s, okay? All right, especially the Iran and Iraq war. Yeah, we know they go to war a lot. But 19 years ago, all right, from 1999, they was at this major war. 19 years ahead from 1999 to 2026, they're in the same war. 19 years ago, all right, or could we say 40 years ago with this Iran and Iraq, okay, and 20 years ago, all right, they've been had the same beef, the same war, political war. And it's a significance dealing with that as well. But that's a whole nother live when it comes to war and dealing with the symbolism of war. Okay? And that's something we'll get into one day. But it has a lot to do with this alignment. Okay? Now this doomsday clock has a lot to do with this celestial alignment. Okay? Has a lot to do with that. If you want to go back from 1980, I think you get the year 1966 or something like that. 61, I'm sorry. And there's a lot of political things, okay, dealing with JFK, Martin Luther King, okay? All of these things is still in this contraction of energy. And we've seen it replay itself out. Even if you wasn't born in that time, but your people don't see that same energy play out that's playing out right now. Okay? Doomsday is all about recycling. Ending to begin.
Less than 40 cents for this delicious Sago taste. You read that right.
It's not a physical matter. Now, if you want me to read this thing with this doomsday now, they tell you, and they even said it.
Vitamin C is a critical nutrient for our health.
Okay?
Bodies don't produce it on their own. Support your immune system with Emergen-C, with a powerful blend of.
All right, they even say it.
It's so much more than vitamin C. And for advanced immune support, try Emergen-C Immune Plus to strengthen your immune system.
Wipes and cleanser can
Okay, this is and it's been out for nearly 80 years. It ain't even been out that long.
Without harsh rubbing.
Okay? But it's supposed to represent the closest the clock has ever been to midnight. They're talking about midnight, midnight, midnight. We know midnight is 12, right?
Quality time. Hours.
Symbolically, it deals with 3. Creation itself. Okay? Or the Christ energy. Or the mind, body, and soul in an alignment. Since we're talking about a celestial alignment dealing with the doomsday clock. And this is their information. Okay? Okay? There's going to be a big shift in humanity. And I've spoke about that before. There's going to be a major shift. I don't know if y'all, well, probably y'all don't, but a couple years ago, or maybe last year, I was on one of my lives like, you know, if I don't see you, I don't see you. Because I know that this energy it takes out and it brings in real heavily. Very heavy. All right? The threat of nuclear weapons. You are the nuclear weapon. Come on now. Okay? Technology such as artificial intelligence. They got multiple concerns about this biosecurity. All right? And the persistent climate crisis. You're evolving. You're shifting. You're reframing yourself. You're recreating yourself in a higher form of energy. And this is not a physical aspect with your body. This is your consciousness. So when shit is evolving consciously and raising awareness in your conscious at such a high level, there's going to be climate crisis. Of course, biosecurity is going to be fragile. Dealing with the artificial intelligence. Of course, there's going to be threats with nuclear weapons. The war, the spiritual, the divine war. Do not let these people ruffle your feathers in fear. They're only giving you commentary. But the commentary is only a visual, an imagination visual of what's transpiring within yourself. Or as a whole, as a nation. Okay? It's all energy. Okay? Now, let me go back here. They want to talk about doomsday. Doomsday this. So, as I was creating an image for this live, thumbnail, and I'm telling y'all, Copilot be saying some stuff. Of course, it's AI. It be saying a lot of things spot on. And sometimes it cannot create. I'm not going to say it can't create, but it will not create, because I believe that is going against the boundaries dealing with, the structure, the formation, the creation of it. But sometimes the images it will not create, but it will give me a mouthful. A major breakdown. So I was trying to get this, putting in the words, a universal doomsday clock. Because I know it's beyond the flesh. Alright? And of course, it responds with, you picked a powerful symbol with that one. Couldn't give it to me. Okay? But it had a lot of information with it. Okay? It begins to talk about the universal threshold clock. The universal threshold clock, which is a living visual gauge of how close humanity is to multiply kinds of thresholds. Pay attention. Because they give you the doomsday like it's your all be all. It's the end. Okay? Go repent. Get on your knees. Okay? But The purpose of this universal threshold clock, which is the doomsday clock, okay? The purpose for it is a living visual gauge of how close humanity is to multiply kinds of thresholds, not just nuclear war, but climate collapse, AI risk, biodiversity loss, pandemics, and social breakdown. All of that is taking place right now. Okay? But of course, listening with the wrong ear, one would think that this is the end of their life. Okay? It is the end of your old wave. And we have a new wave to ride. Okay? Same energy, just new wave, more evolved, more intelligent, more awareness. Okay? It's more formed, okay? Formation and structure in this wave, okay? Of intelligence that we're riding in, okay? But it's supposed to be a central dial. And it's a large circular clock with no numbers, just a gradient from deep blue, stable, to burning white, critical, around the edge. What do that remind you of? When I hear deep blue, stable, to a burning white, critical, around the edge. I ain't gonna tell you, I'm really thinking about the ice wall. You know, the rim of the world. Okay? Alright, which is why I can understand why scientists, well, they probably know the truth, but they're going to put it out this way. But I can understand why scientists and people, believe the world might be round, the world might be flat. The visual I got today, baby, I understand it. It's a symbol, okay? And that symbol really doesn't deal with a shape, okay? It's a wave of energy. It's the conscious ring. Okay? But that's what I think about. When they talking about that deep blue. I think about the ice wall and the blue water, all the snow, and I think about that. Frozen. All right? But that deals with that central dial. Central, meaning in the center. Okay? And I was about to say, like in the deep blue of your subconscious. Okay? Instead of one hand, there are 6 hands. And each hand holds a different color and symbol. Okay? This is where they get your dooms clock from. Your doomsday clock. Okay? The red is going to conflict war, nuclear risks, and geopolitical tension. We're already in the red. This is the year of the fire horse. Okay? We have this green dealing with climate, the global temperature, the emissions, the extreme weather. And we think, you think we facing some extreme weather right now. Spirit was definitely giving me earlier that this summer, baby, you're going to feel like you on fire. Okay? Because every time there's a low temperature drop, as it is right now, and we've been facing this extreme weather changes, all right? There's going to always be hotter days. All right? The gold represents technology. Wouldn't gold always be the most valuable shit? Okay? So all of this gold, you know, we talk about the Vatican's guys. You know, they took from our villages, and the true significant dealing with this gold deals with your intelligence, your artificial intelligence to build, to create. That's gold. Okay? The bioenergy engineering of self. Okay? Which creates what we've been living in, okay, for the last 20, 40 years, a cyber warfare. Okay? And they actually mentioned this cyber warfare. What's that movie? Terminator. Okay? Terminator. Skynet, all of that. Okay? But the gold represents the technology dealing with this central dial, which is this universal threshold clock. Okay? Then they have this teal, which represents your health. We don't went through majority of these levels. These color schemes. Teal dealing with health. Pandemics. Woo. The latest pandemic is COVID, which was Corona, respectfully, which was also symbolic and a sign, okay, that was talking about your crown, your consciousness. Okay? So pandemics. All right? The antibiotic resistance. A lot of people is being resistant to a lot of this shit. Okay? Especially they're talking about right now, there's also becoming, it's a little chatter right now, but it's going to be a lot more chatter dealing with these vaccinations. Okay? Especially dealing with these, you know, these new illnesses like the measles that's always been out. The flu has a different strand every year. You know, with these situations going on, and people are feeling like the ones who are not vaccinated are the ones who are going to appropriate the illnesses to the ones that are vaccinated. But I thought you was protected though. Wake up. But yeah, global health systems. Okay? All dealing with the teal color, the heart, the green. Okay? And the heart also deals with all your major system. Okay? All right? That generates through your body. Right? Then we have the purple. Okay? We're going back. Okay? Purple deals with the crown, the consciousness, divineness. Okay? That whole divinity energy. But they have it also listed dealing with society. And if you understand this purple being symbolic to your crown, okay, your consciousness, this deals with the projection of your reality. Okay? Your existence. Okay? So they have it listed for society. Okay? Inequality.
Just call this number and switch
Polarization.
for a lifetime of internet
and democratic erosion.
It's an unprecedented offer. So we'll say it again.
All of this is taking place. We're going through all of this, y'all. Okay? As the world turns, okay? We're going to spin into something new.
This is the 2026 Nissan Rogue.
Then they have this white, which is the biodiversity. And with white, I see the light, okay? Or the sun, okay? Or, you know, yeah, the light, the sun, okay? And it, please, hold on, y'all.
And then he said, devour me.
With the white, you know, dealing with biodiversity, it signifies a species loss. I wonder kind of what the species they're talking about. But species loss and an ecosystem collapse. Now, dealing with white, and it's the biodiversity to our universal threshold clock, which is the doomsday clock. All right, symbolic to that. White creates life. White creates light. Okay? And with this light, all right, it appropriates the energy. All right? It projects these waves of energy, which deals with our ecosystem. All right? Also with creation. All right? But each hand moves independently, some closer to midnight, some further away. So while they're talking about this doomsday clock, which hand is closer? We're going to get into that. Okay? All right, to 12 o'clock, to the 3. All right, divine self, divinity. All right, a little bit background dealing with this universal threshold clock. There is circuit patterns dealing with technology, tree branches or coral shapes, which deals with your lifespan, and the constellations, which is a cosmic perspective. Okay, all blending into one tapestry. Okay, the midnight symbol instead is a simple 12. There's a thin ring of light, which is a threshold. Come on, y'all. All right? Crossing it doesn't mean the end. One more time. Crossing it doesn't mean it's the end. Okay? But a point where damage becomes irreversible for generations. Okay? All the damage that we have done, mentally and physically, recycling that energy, regenerating that energy, all right, has been damage control. And every time it runs its course, where we've done too much, or too much has been done, or too much is being pulled, such as energy, okay, before its alignment, or right at its alignment, okay, it becomes irreversible, meaning out with the old, okay? We have to change it, change the narrative, reset it, reframe it, recycle it in a awareness of energy, Because a lot of things that we have damage controlled or been, just self-destructive in our journey, we can use to transform ourselves in a higher frequency. All right? That irreversible can be reversible. All right? In higher frequency of awareness. Okay? We can't change what has happened in the past. So we have to move forward. Okay? Even when it comes to your healing, you can't change what happened. You have to accept it and move on. And as long as you can't move on, you will continue to give your power to a dry spot. That no longer exists. Okay? But this midnight symbol, which they're talking about as 12, is just a thin ring of light. And that's dealing with your consciousness. Okay? They label consciousness tactics in so many different words. And you have to dive deep into these word plays, because it's more than what meets the frame. It's more than what the picture is given, okay? It's more behind it, okay? There's a dynamic meaning dealing with doomsday, which is a not fixed in doom, okay? Which the hands can move backward as well as forward. Who remembers they had to go back a couple years ago in their foundation? Some people went back home. Some people reconnected with old flames, old family members, old friends. Okay, old careers, whatever, just an old space. All right? And sometimes we have to. All right, you have to go back. Okay? And this represents the collective action. Cause and effects, y'all. The collective action. A policy and care can literally turn back the clock. Okay? So think about that when you think about doomsday. Do you need to go back? Okay? Collect some more actions, experiences. Understand the policy to all of this. Okay? Just so you can literally turn back the hand. Okay? Or turn back the clock. All right? The dynamic meaning dealing with the human presence. Okay? At the very center, a small, calm I. Come on, co-pilot. Because you definitely got the I in bold. Okay? The center, very center, a small, calm I. Or heart-shaped core. Heart-shaped core. All right? The core of the heart. The core of earth. See how that works? Okay? Reminding that this isn't a machine's countdown. I'm telling you, co-pilot be on it, y'all. But it's reminding that it isn't a machine's countdown. It's a mirror of human choices. Come on now. Come on, co-pilot. Y'all, I'm excited, but yeah. Okay? This has nothing to do with man. This has everything to do with you. I've always said it's about what you choose. It's your choices. Yes, a lot of things is recycled down to our energy, okay? Have been regenerated in our journey. But it's up to you. It's always been up to you to either take that route or change the narrative. Okay? Or you was just simply the one to come in and change it. Okay? You're the mirror of human choices. Okay? All right? The universal threshold clock feels like something bigger than a warning system. It's not a warning for us. Okay? It's a mirror. It's a pulse. A cosmic dashboard. Okay? Showing where humanity stands in multiple dimensions. Okay? Okay, Miss Libra, they like breaking it down. Okay? It's a mirror, it's a pulse, a cosmic dashboard showing where humanity stands in multiple dimensions at once. Okay? All right, now the formation of this universal threshold clock, okay? I can understand where they got the clock from, okay? The circle, all right? Because it is a circular, luminous dial, okay? That's part clock, as they would say, and part Mandela. Now, the whole Mandela effect has a lot to deal with the universal threshold clock, or just this doomsday clock. I want to call it the divine clock, okay? Or the divine shift, okay? Because it has a lot to do with this Mandela, okay? Also part cosmic instrument. When they talk about instruments, they're talking about frequency. They're talking about sound, okay? They're talking about the breath, which is spirit. All right? All of these vital instruments you have within your body, okay, is the alchemy to your existence cosmically, okay? All right? There's no numbers, no hours on this shit. That's where that time doesn't exist. Okay? Just gradients of possibility. All right? The outer ring shifts from deep indigo, which is stability, to amber, which is strand, to white hot, critical threshold. The closer we are to the sun, baby, the light, okay, is a critical threshold, okay? I already read that dealing with the six hands, the center, all right? Now, according to AI, which is dealing with this Copilot app that I be using, this doomsday or this universal threshold clock, as they speak of, is with dealing with the flow, the shift, the wave, the motion, okay, that we're spinning, Okay? It doesn't predict doom. It doesn't predict the doomsday. It's like man loves to play God, which you have every opportunity, every reason to play God if you want to. I mean, that's part of your power, your energy, your creation, what you willing into your existence. But man always wants to act like they know the hour. Okay? The hour of someone's transition. Okay? But they can't detect that. They can't predict that. Because you would know before anybody else know. When it comes to yourself. Okay? Now, what it does do is it mounts pressure points like dealing with humanity, being stranded, and where the progress is happening and where it's not, where the collective action, which is the energy, the motion of all of us, okay, can turn the hands back, which they've been trying to do for the longest, which is, they've been trying to really change the narrative of the time. They don't want to go back. They want to keep moving. So it's always a major setback, which dealing with the 19 or dealing with going back 19 years each time. Okay? Of the year of the one. Okay? They have always tried to change it, to move further, but it always resets. All right? Just Prince it's playing in my head, but he said it best dealing with the song of, the year 1999. Okay? Parting like it's 1999. It don't move no further. Okay? The whole system reboots itself. All right? And with reboots, it takes away and it ushers in a higher intelligence or evolution. Okay? All right? Now, dealing with the energy, dealing with the universal threshold clock, which is this doomsday clock that they come up with. I mean, named it doomsday clock. Okay? And put their own little spin on it to kind of scare y'all. Okay? Trying to keep up with the lie. But the energy dealing with this universal threshold clock carries the vibe of what we've been talking about, okay? Cosmic intelligence, ancestral warning, okay? Your ancestors in your blood, they in your bloodline, they in your energy. You feel them in your spirit. You feel them when you get chills. You hear them, you smell them. They're around you, they're in you, okay? So there's going to be a lot of ancestral warnings as well dealing with you. And also when it comes to these experiences. A lot of us probably dealt with this last weekend with this whole ice storm. Your ancestral warning went the fuck off. You had to tap into a level of energy or intelligence to survive. Okay? And to be prepared regardless of what. Okay? Anytime you're going through a survival, all right, survival mode in your journey, ancestral warning is definitely going to pick up. Okay? There's a scientific measurement, and science only deals with knowing. Okay? Okay? The scientific measure of our mentality, the awareness, the consciousness. Okay? Because we know over here, meant at any word deals with your mentality. Okay? So it's a scientific measurement. Okay? A spiritual accountability, which a lot of people don't want to take. All of this is the energy that doomsday. Okay? Revelations. All right? This universal threshold clock carries. Okay? You gotta hold yourself accountable. Because if you go back to what we was talking about, how this shit deals with your choices, okay? How this shit deals with your choices in this journey, okay? It's a mirror of human choices. So you have to be accountable. You have to hold yourself accountable. I don't give a damn who did something to you. I don't. You're going to hold yourself accountable for what you're allowing. Okay? Okay? Urban futurism is also a part of this energy. Okay? Okay? It's all about the motion of where we're going. All right? This is a kind of symbol that sit in a mural, a dashboard, a ritual space, a global summit. Okay? So this doomsday has been reoccurring every 19 years. Okay? Study, research, go back from today and go back this year and go back every 19 years from those dates. Look up the historical events that took place. Look at it. And understand when you're reading it, you're researching, you're deep diving, connect the dots from then to now. So I want you to see the whole transition, the whole transformation, the whole alignment, the motion, and the cycle that you exist in, which is this consciousness. All right? And how it has expanded over the years. Same energy, different players. Okay? And there might be different routes that parallel over this energy. They're talking about this doomsday clock because it's the end of times of the old mind. The old waves. The old ways. Everything that's being exposed, pay attention to that too. Those viral ones, especially, because they're going to always be front and center. They're always going to be the hottest trends, energy, okay, stories, topics. But connect the dots when it comes to self. Don't look at it from the literal mindset. Okay? But doomsday is the end of the old you. All right? The old consciousness that we once used to bathe in. It has evolved. It has mutated into a greater intelligence. And it's been shifting like that every 10 years and 9. Okay? Every 19 years. It's like a divine motion, a divine shift of energy, rebirths itself or rebirth itself. Okay? In the year of the 10. Which happens every 19 years. All right? But yeah, I just wanted to dive in with this information with y'all. Let me make sure I don't have anything else before I get off here. But yeah, I just been, paying attention to this doomsday thing, y'all. I've seen it. Somebody shared it to me. I can't even freaking remember who shared it to me. But it's been a lot, moving in these last couple of weeks. Well, just since we got into January. Okay? This whole ice stage energy. Oh, it was something I wanted to show y'all too. I knew it was something. I did talk about the frequency conjunctions of the planets and an alignment because this year we had it in 2024. Last year in 2025 we had it. With the 5 to 7 planets in alignment, that has a lot to do with this doomsday energy. The recycling of self. The visibility dealing with the factors like the atmosphere distortion, the sun glares and physical obstructions can affect the visibility. All above the horizon. Also, with like I said, in 2026 there will be a lunar eclipse, which is that blood moon, which is going to be symbolic to the alignment of self, the sun, earth, and moon, the holy trinity, the three, okay, that they're talking about. Being in alignment, being on a higher vibration of awareness. This is all about this astronomical event that's taking place, this celestial alignment. That's what it's all about, y'all. That's all what it's about. Okay? Balancing yourself, grounding yourself, being in unison with oneself, oneness, and with this one energy, it's gonna be big energy this year. Big energy. So make sure you tapped in. Okay? Because it's gonna be some big energy. Okay? It's going to be some big energy. Um, Also, with that word tied right quick, I'm just tying up a couple loops that I didn't get. With the word time and it referencing tide and tide dealing with the waves and of the ocean and stuff like that. There's a word that was sticking out to me that was the ebb and flow. And I had to look it up because I'm like, what is the ebb and flow? But it really fits into rotation of what we're talking about. It's a reoccurrent of rhythm, y'all. Oh my God. A reoccurrent or rhythm pattern of coming and going or declining and regrowth. So it's all about the coming and going, decline and the decline and regrowth. It's non it's a reoccurrent rhythm, a pattern that takes place in this rotation, this cycle, dealing with, when dealing with us, motioning into this energy, this shift. So it's all about coming and going in the decline of regrowth. So I wanted to look that up and make sure I was understanding what the hell I was talking about. Okay, but it has a lot to do with this time that they subjectively use and try to spin it, as a physical aspect, which is not a physical thing. It doesn't even exist. But when it comes to our currency and our rhythms, our patterns of rhythm, it deals with the bringing in and bringing out, or, the decline and the regrowth. Okay. So I just wanted to drop that on y'all too, since that was in my notes as well. But yeah, y'all, if y'all hear about this doomsday, I don't know if everybody did. Just look more into it, y'all, especially the 19 dealing with the cycle pattern and how every 19 years there is something historical taking place dealing with this shift with us regenerating ourselves. But yeah, y'all. Also, drop in the comments what y'all think. We can chat in the comments as well. But let me know what y'all think about it. What's on your mind? Also, like, subscribe, share the video so we can get our algorithm going as well, y'all. But I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. I just wanted to drop them beans on y'all, see what y'all thought about it as well. I'm probably gonna be back tomorrow because I'm off as well too. And I'm watching an old movie right now that came out in 1999. And it's called The End of Days. Okay? Since we're so much talking about the end of days, so I want to break down that movie, kind of bring out a lot of the key points dealing with this end of days, also connecting it with the doomsday clock and the universal threshold clock as well. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. Or if you have watched it, kudos to you. But I'm gonna be, I'm gonna come back live and talk about it, discuss it with y'all tomorrow. Let y'all know about the things I did catch in it. And there's one thing I did catch, which keeps coming up in a lot of these old movies as well, which I was telling my sister earlier, is the year 2027. Yeah. Year 2027. The two. But yeah. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, just watch it. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and I'm gonna talk about it with y'all. But as always, y'all love, peace, and oneness. And I will talk to y'all in the next one. Peace.